Welcome to Talk Oxfordshire. I'm Hanisha Sethi. On today's show, we'll be talking about a Nobel Prize winning chemist, ice sheets and technology, the latest experiments involving the Zika virus, and genes in education. Joining me on the sofa today is Professor Elspeth Garman, who's a Professor of Molecular Biophysics at the University of Oxford. Also, she had a rather famous pupil that a lot of people will know of, and her former name was Margaret Roberts. But do you want to tell me more about who that was?
That was Mrs. Margaret Thatcher, who did her four-year chemistry degree at Somerville College. And for the fourth year, the chemists in Oxford join a research group, and they actually do real research for a year. And Margaret Roberts joined Dorothy Hodgkin's group, and famously Dorothy thought she perhaps wouldn't make a chemist.
Today we're discussing the most important stories of the week. We'll be covering food banks, the administration of BHS, education, and a well-loved television show that's coming to Oxford. I'm rejoined today by John Cole, who's a consultant at Blake Morgan Solicitors, and Oxford tour guide David Block. The first story we're going to be discussing is the independent food bank that's appealing for funds at the moment. But it's really interesting actually how, despite signs of a slow economic recovery, hunger still continues to affect a significant number of people here in the UK. So why is this happening when we're the fifth richest nation on earth, really?
I think you've only got to look into the supermarkets and find out the vast quantities of food that appear to be there. But what you're not really seeing is, at the end of the day, you've got an enormous amount of food waste.
One thing we must mention as well is that we also saw on Friday the 1st a wave of price rises as well. So, you know, council tax bills are going up, as you quite rightly mentioned. Water bills are going up, on average, say £2 a year. Prescription charges, again, up 20p, and NHS dental charges increasing. So this all adds up.
But on the other side of the coin, you've got to bear in mind that Oxford City Council has lost 43% of its government funding. Other councils are in a far worse situation.
So our first story that we're discussing this morning is about alcohol guidelines, and these have been revised this January. But so there's some very confusing guidelines out there at the moment. First of all, the term excessive drinking is one that really can't be defined, and many countries define this in various ways, which makes it really confusing for the drinker. But first of all, John, why don't you tell me first of all, do you know how much is too much here in the UK, what the guidelines are here?
Well, it's just been reduced, hasn't it? It used to be 4 units for males, 3 for females. Now it's been used to both, 3 for both.
There are obviously biological differences between men and women. Is this right to have the same guidelines?